Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on a program to do financial calculations, medium and long term. And lately we've been working on real-time updates. We have these assumptions that set things like percents, interest rates, or ROI, or inflation. And we let you update it, but we don't update everything as you're updating it. I'm not sure this is a requirement per se, but it's kind of nice if you can do it. So we'll look at that a little bit more today. I'm not going to go too far on it though, if it seems like it's not going anywhere. All right. Let's see. Well, I'm going to go to our to-dos because we have one that I think is easy. So we might do that first. It was this one. Okay, so make assumption display half as tall so we can see the impact. So let's run it. Well, you bring up the assumptions. Notice they take up this whole screen like this. So I think, let's figure out where those are. We have assumptions view. Okay. So I think what you can do, well, on the sheet, who calls this? It must be content view. Okay, there's our chart. There's our buttons. Okay, here's assumptions view. Okay. No, I guess it is inside the view. All right, let's find this. It's a fairly new modifier called Person.death, and you can say things like medium. Now, I don't know if it guarantees to go on the bottom or the top, but we'll find out. Medium gives you a half size view. We should make sure we've got a dismiss button on our assumptions. Okay, we don't, and it didn't do anything. So, all right, what's going on? Is it the wrong kind of thing? Okay, let's find this. Well, it's on there. Now you can say medium or large. I don't know what other ones you got. If you say 2, it starts at this one and you can stretch it to that one or put it back. But it's showing it as a sheet. All right, let's. Or you can bind to it, right? Yeah. Okay. Medium is half inactive and compact height. All right, well, and the other thing with this, I'm not sure what happens if you rotate it, but it's not looking any better to me. Okay. Yeah, I thought there was. There's something. Was it a bottom sheet? Maybe we have to do a different kind of sheet. Okay, apparently sheet is presented. That's what we're doing. Presentation tense. Take up the full sheet with a compact size class. Sheet with dot presentation to. Well, we'll put it up on the top level and just see if that makes any difference. I don't see why it would, but maybe it's better here in some ways anyway, because this is sort of the overall presentation. So rather than pushing that decision down, say it's a global decision. But again, I don't see why that should matter, being on the one versus the other. Well, maybe it does. It was a list before, now it's a sheet. No. Okay, well, what if we... Let's see his example. Some credits. Let's see, that brings up the spike. Maybe it was a popover, but boy, that example. Turn content view. Oh yeah. Okay, let's do this the other way. Wait a minute. Do I have two spike views? Sure enough. Oh, jeez. Well, where is this one? Oh, we have a spike folder. He's calling Spike View 2. Spike View 2. Okay, let's clear this and try again. Well, I don't see how that's going to matter. More likely, where's it being put here? Yeah. Why? Perhaps you need to limit the size of the view shown as a sheet. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, maybe it doesn't work on Mac OS. Well, I'm running on iPad though. And he's not draggable. Oh, this is weird. Slide up from the bottom of our view. Is that how that got there? Okay. This is an iPad compact size class. Well, I don't know how I'm in a compact size class. I wouldn't think an iPad would beat that. Well, we'll learn something anyway. Okay. Yeah, it seems weird to me. Okay, it's in regular as opposed to compact, right? Um, is presentation defense medium large? Set support sizes for our sheet's content. I did say to tense, right? Okay, well, this is example. Let's take this one out. Oh, I missed that. In split view or slide over. I don't know what slide over is. Ugh. Okay, that's a good way to do it. Let me read this better. Sheet supports the large detent. Okay. Where are you seeing that phrase? You only see the effect in split view or slide over. Well, I guess we could try limiting the frame size. Make it small. Oops, that should be height. No effect that I can see. Oh. Okay. I mean, it sounds like Apple documentation for sure. Okay, this just totally ignores it. I thought this was the 2-minute simple thing to do. Yeah, it's more presentation dense. Yeah, you can put the height directly on. But yeah, but I noticed our example didn't. Okay, maybe that's interfering. It didn't have a little drag bar like this one does. Show modal. What makes it modal? Yeah, toggled. Okay. Right. Yeah, so there's no drag bar on the sheet. Why would you only want to see it in either of those views, though? That just seems weird. Okay, so see if it puts the drag bar. No. Ooh, fixed size. Does not work with a list view. Well, there's lots of people that seem to love presentation detents, but iOS 16. Well, we're in 17. Height. Undimming the underlying view. Oh, bottom sheet was a little project somebody had. Interesting. Well, that's not quite what we want. Oh, here's house size. Okay. Apparently this is hard. All right. That tells me we're doing it. Maybe, okay, let's take another way to do it. Where's Fiume? Let's go back to content view. Okay. Content. All right. Well, another way to do it would be inject it as a view between between the sections. Is showing assumptions.toggle. Well, we won't need that there. Okay. We'll see how annoying this is. I'm always a little disappointed when you get these features that work on iPhone but not iPad. They work on iPad but not Mac, or it's like, it seems like you're making it harder for everybody. I guess it's for that cutting edge person that wants to do the iPhone app and have that as soon as possible. Oh, I got to take rid of the other one. Can I wrap the content view and put a 50% spacing on top? I don't know. I mean, I could compress the area, but it would still cover, as far as I can see. And this is conceivably acceptable. And I've still got a limitation somewhere. I can live with this. I could probably do people the same way. Because I think what will happen is you'll basically create your plan and then you'll come in and run some assumptions. Now that vertical height on it is a little weird, but yeah, maybe I should do both those that way. Okay, what's the right thing here? Okay, I think this works for me. Let's take this out. Showing assumptions. Boy, I could see people the same way. You just don't need to see it most of the time. Okay. Yeah, it does change when you stop dragging. So I'm whoops, same problem I did already. Not supposed to make the same mistake twice. I'm kind of getting ready to leave this alone, get it to a point, and call it a wrap. All right, so I can put the people in. The height is a little weird. Let's go see if we can figure out why they have the height they do. Assumptions view. Right. It's a list. No, row height. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Put static in, that doesn't really help. Yeah, frame max height. Let's do that. And they're gonna put in a scroll view too then. Yeah, I don't think so. Let's add, looks like adding 2 would be enough. Mm-hmm. No, I am scrollable. Boy, the default viewing on this is just annoying though. Like no extra border on the bottom. Or at the top. I mean, and the dragging is not doable on there. Oh, it is. Okay. That was me. Maybe let's add as a divider. The divider helps a tiny bit, I guess, but I don't know. List is not a great. Let's see, can I? List row background. No, that's not what I'm. Yeah, that's the old. Okay, scroll content background. Let's try that. Now, I don't remember if list built in a scroll view, I guess. Well, I think that's better. And this one's still awkward looking. I'm going to put a divider after the buttons too. Can show only one of the lists at a time. Well, I think that's up to the person. If they want both. I don't know, maybe there's something we could do to. I mean, we could make it kind of a radio button thing, but they have nothing to do with each other, so I don't feel too obligated. The bad thing is you can't. you don't have that big view. Like we had before, and if you had a bunch of assumptions, that might be kind of annoying. Maybe 200's a little chintzy. Okay, let me put this one back where it was. Okay, so this is back to our original approach of doing it only on the edit changes, but seeing the numbers update, but not see their impact until you let go, which I think I will live with. Well, and I think content view can be a little, let's make this one a little smaller and this one a little bigger. Show only one list time, keep the height at 50%. I think I'll leave it here. I would say that's what we've done. And then this one, I did do more reading and research on trying to see how to make this change, and I just could not see anything that would seem to do it. I'm pretty confident, well, I think, or I suspect, I'm not sure how to characterize my emotional attachment to this theory, but what I believe is we're calling the on change lets us see these immediate updates like that, okay, on the number, but not the display. The on changed, the on editing changed, when you let go, that's when it updates that. It's acceptable. It's not as fun as dragging this and seeing it go woo, woo, as you drag. But I think let me get in there. Assumption view. Yeah, so I think what's going on is we're doing an update which changes the assumptions and triggers a full redraw of the system, I think, of the view. And so when you drag it, even if you try and drag it a bunch, it's just done on that first call. When you drag, it updates the position immediately. And I think it's I think it's doing it on that first one. And then when you've got the change triggered, I think the screen is redone. And I think the fact that you still are holding down to this slider thumb, I think maybe that thumb is not, I think your view is just of the old one. And it's, well, no, I think the view has a new one. You have your finger down still on the old one, but nothing, it's disconnected to everything at that point, I think. I may be wrong. Yeah, so it's not the same slider because, remember, views are structs and they just throw away stuff when they want to. They try and do, well, I believe there's some optimization going on to try and say, oh, this one hasn't changed, just leave it alone. But the fact is, our slider has definitely changed. And so I think it's throwing that away. And the thumb we had grabbed, the real thumb is now on top of it, the new thumb. And you feel like you've grabbed it because you still got your finger pushed down on the mouse. But this one that's actually the visible one hasn't been touched yet. And so I think that's maybe what's going on. And so you can't just keep dragging because you've got a whole new thumb there that you can't tell is new. They need an id on the items on the list. Yeah, they definitely use that for things. So if a list has IDs on it, it can say, oh, I see you just moved this one ID up here. Let me just, modify the space between the two of them or whatever, if that's all it takes. Otherwise, if it thinks everything is, if it doesn't have IDs, it's just got to assume everything has changed because it just can't, judge otherwise. So it definitely uses that stuff. Yeah, to keep track of the items. And so if we had a dragging handle on here to drag these up and down, right, those in that range would be affected, and it would know it's just these three. It wouldn't think this one were affected. Okay. So my answer to how to do it then, I don't know. I mean, because you get the demos. I mean, even what we had, we could print out those values as they change, and we're updating this 10%, the number on the left. That's all because those are being tracked. And that text is redisplayed. But I don't know why. Well, the change we're making, we're trying to affect the display on a different view completely. And I don't know if it's just that's the issue. But I don't know. I mean, I have a theory on the dragging, and I have a suspicion that it's not updating things on that other view. I don't know if that means I've not connected something. I mean, the assumptions are observable. So there is, we do have observer functions attached to this thing and detecting it. But maybe the overall plan and chart view doesn't realize that assumptions changing affects them. Maybe that's something we could look at. So we save, and maybe that's change the assumption to a class might work. Only updates when assumptions when releasing, change the current when dragging. Well, that's kind of what we have now, right? I mean, we're clearly changing the value on the left as we drag. Now, I mean, it would be annoying to hit save every time you dragged a slider at 90 miles an hour. but I don't know. It has to somehow make content view recognize that it depends on assumptions. Well, is it because this does not depend on that value? All right, let's take a go at it. I'm what time is it? 2:45. Okay, if we don't have it by 3:30, we're done. Okay, I think we'll quit sooner, but I'm definitely not going to go past there. All right. All right, so go back to assumption view. He updates. All right, let's make this one do the same thing. Update action, and he's doing it no matter what. Okay. Now we replace the assumption. Yes, so assumptions, the replace removes the current assumption, adds the new one, and notice it's keeping the name the same. So it's changing. Okay, we'll do that much. That gets us where we were the other day, dragging one notch and then freezing. Okay, so this one depends on ROI. So I'll drag. Now let me drag at 99. I don't think it changed it. I mean, the whole thing is very... Can I click out of here? Why did it go down? Maybe it's just that far behind. It is changing it once it drags it. But, oh, is it only changing when I release it? Yeah. It's very spotty as to whether it even lets me grab it. Okay, ultra suspicious. That's how I call it. But what I'm going to do, and this may, I don't know, it's like I'm trying to outsmart the macro, but like, do you depend on assumptions? Well, you do, but that's not reflected in your arguments or anything. So I don't know if it just doesn't assume that the view depends on this. Now, possibilities, remember, is not a view class. It's a regular role class. Okay, and okay. Yeah, no, could changing it to a class work? Does the grid depend on the assumptions, or can we only update the grid while dragging? Why am I not getting it? It's a preview. No, I felt like I just clicked it but didn't drag it. No, I mean it's not dramatically do it. Yeah, we need assumptions to do the calculations of this stuff. Okay. Let's take this back out. I don't think it's doing it. I'm probably missing something. My model of how updates and when they happen and everything is sometimes not 100% right, but I don't think we're getting what we want out of this. If assumption current is not int value, that seems wrong. It seems like I should look at this flag. It doesn't affect what we're talking about, but on editing changed. Callback when it ends. I think when they give it to you false is the end. Or no, it seems like true should be the end, doesn't it? Okay, let's try that. All right, this should be back to the mode where it updates the number, but it only updates the chart when you let go. All right, and so I'm going to press, drag, let go. Press, drag. The false is the let go, huh? I would not have guessed it. So this is not did change. It's kind of like still dragging. And let's say if not still dragging, let's update the value. All right, so it should update the value when I let go. Okay. Now, one last change. Wherever that 30 was, or 13, I think I left it 13 so we could see the effect. No? Oh, symbols. No. Oh, that was our dates on this. We're okay, I guess. Yeah, let's just add another income stream. Okay, and there's that little. Okay, yeah, so that's being done. We're projecting out the 30 years. Okay, good. All right, so what have we done? Well, we made okay, that's one thing. I'll delete that spike. And let's run unit tests. What are you talking about? Well, it just wakes up and decides, like, I'll throw away my testing library. I'll ignore it. All right, let me run it instead if it's not going to build properly. Okay, that still looks okay. I don't know, maybe I should just install the beta Xcode and stop paying for this confusion. I don't have any projects that have to use the existing one. And even then, they probably still would work. Okay, there we go. All right, go back to these. I guess I'm going to say we gave up on making rates respond in real time. Do we need to pass people to amount.value? Let's go back to amount. I'm just going to close everything that's too crazy. Amount. All right, I think we already answered that question. Do we need to pass people? Well, no, that's irrelevant. We got rid of it anyway. But I think we're still passing it. Let's see who's passing people around. Yeah, I think it's just old. Let's try that. Right, now what's he doing with possibilities with people? I don't think he's doing anything. Okay. Now environment needs it. Funny thing is, it doesn't even build those tests, I don't think. Okay, that I can believe. Now they used make possibilities, and notice that's a lot easier on us. Okay. All right, let's push this for what we have. Age selector. I guess it makes sense that that needs people. It's got to take the list of those. Content view. That seems alrightish. Okay. Okay, it's pulling from the environment when it needs it, I guess. I don't know what it does with it. I think this needs it because we could have children of the layer view that need a person in their environment, but the layer view itself should not need it. Not long to wait for the simulator. And if I change to a different file, it stops running the simulator, so that's not going to work. Yeah. My card that said presentation hence not going to work. What parts can't use the people shared? Well, do views need it? Most of them don't. That's for sure. But we know all the date stuff needs it because it's down there using the ages relative to the people. That may be all we use people for. We don't put them in a selector anywhere or any of that. Oh, so annoying. He's still just... Oh, there he comes. All right. Just wanted to run without dying, really. And since he doesn't really put anything in the people, I don't really suspect that it's going to make a difference. Yeah, there's no age-based stuff here. And people's empty. Okay, yeah, I mean, that looks all right. Run. So the only two things using it then is the thing that manages the list of people, which I can understand if that thing needs access to it or gets access to it. And the age thing. That still looks fine. All right. Let's come to this. Just lost Xcode. Date and scenario required. I think we did that. Yeah. Oh no, that's something else. Well, let's close this and go back to amount. Okay, I guess that's all right. All right, display of assumption. That's that's a little wrap up kind of thing. Well, go back. Oh. So the idea is, well, I think this thing could be, 2/3 the length and just as fine. But we could put the range. So this one, that's 1 to 100. This is 1 to 33, and this is 1 to 100. We could put a little 1, well, here and here, 100, and make the whole thing a little less wide. I guess that's assumption view. Right, now we just put text in there. Oh, this is the slider. Where is that? Yeah, we just put these in. Well, it looks like the slider kind of takes as much text space as it wants. I don't know if the bracket would help. Let's see if this will catch up a little. Still slow. I don't understand why previews should be slower than the runs. Yeah, now let's limit the width on this thing. Well, that's not really the look I'm after. The bracket thing seems okay. Oh, maybe I should slide this over here. No, I don't think I have anything to say. All right, let's run and see how it's looking. Yeah. Although I don't think they need a ton, right? I mean, inflation, like, how big a word are you going to put here? Oh, I gotta do the padding better. I think I can give it. Can I give it? Fair enough. Okay. I know I can give simple amounts like 1, 2 and stuff, but I think I can choose which dimensions get it. Yeah, edges. Just leading, trailing. Is that what put the lines in there, right? How annoying. Were they there before? I just don't remember them. That looks padded to me. That was jammed right on the edge. Okay, so if I do this. Okay, so that's coming from the list. I guess it was there before. Okay, that seems better. And it's not that much room, is it? Inflation would just about fill it. So it means I should try it. Now you have plenty of space here. Okay, it makes room. I think that's all right. Well, I don't think it's the most amazing view ever, but it gives you a little breathing room over here. I could probably cut that size down a bit. Yeah, and I like the delimiting the bracket. Actually, I think is worth the space. Okay. All right. Anything else that was assumption based? We could look at more kinds of assumptions. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, that's probably a good place to stop for our break. So let's do that. We'll take 3 or 4 minutes. We'll come back. Maybe we'll tackle some of this. Maybe there's some other stuff we could look at, but we'll shift gears a little bit. All right. So see you in 3 or 4. Okay. Welcome back. So one option is to look at some of these persistence updates, which are really small refactorings. Change the date specifier name, make growth non-nullable, remove person.death. That one we probably can just do. All right, we have the death is nullable, and I don't think anybody references it ever. Yeah. All right, let's take that out. We'll probably have a number of tests that do this. This will get most of them. I don't know why it doesn't replace and find. Okay, these others, they're more work. I'm not going to tackle that till we decide to take on more work. I want to get some easy things to wrap up today. Something medium-sized would be okay. Oh, that's one that would be good. That's another refactoring kind of thing. We've got the notion of a group, and yet somehow our top object is an array that kind of reflects that. It's a little confusing, but this one is more attractive to me. I'd like to look at doing this and then income. Yeah, okay. Let's just make that a topic. Okay, so the goal is add a new report that's net income by month, and to do that, we're going to refactor this net worth. Okay, that feels like a reasonable one to tackle. And if we get partway through, it'll still be fine. Okay, so I can't. Oops. Stop. Okay, my escape key that didn't work the other day seems to work now. Okay. Possibilities. I think, well, it'll get me there, but it doesn't calculate. It's scenarios. Okay. Net worth. And we pulled this out. Net worth. Okay. Let's see this thing. Now these are on possibilities. I really think this is the driving one. It's really the other way around. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, so let's pull out possibilities. Yeah, let's make a file for it, and then we'll go from there. trying to get this in kind of a reasonable reading order, I guess. Possibilities net worth is the whole thing given every scenario with its net worth. Okay. And I think I want to change the names. All right, let's call this net worth. Oh, let's make sure this builds first. Usually takes it a minute to recognize. Oh, and if I see what random membership it dropped it in, it should be in Fiume model along with possibilities. Okay, so let's do it again. All right, so let me explain what I'm thinking here. So this is reports. All right, so the kind of chart I have in mind, it's like, it's almost got like a dividing line, and then above it is income. And then below it is, so that's income. And then down here is expenses. So maybe I had a terrible first month and a pretty good second month. And then really I'd like to put a little line somewhere that's kind of like the divider to show the net. Okay, so you would see the net amount. Well, it would be here, going up to here, and then, moving along depending how your income and expenses go. And this gives you a view of kind of, am I solvent on a monthly basis? So, I mean, you could have $1 million in the bank, and yet you're going in the hole every month by $10,000. You're not running out of money for a while. Well, 10 times that times some number of years, it's going to take you years to go out of to lose all your money if you're taking $10,000 at a time. But it's not a good place to be. You're living off your assets long term, or subsidizing your current expenses, and you don't want to do that if you can avoid it. All right, now. So I think this is maybe more like, well, let's call this net worth. Oh, come on. Well, there's a reason it failed there, because it's not in there. Can I rename the class? No. Rename filter possibilities. How do I get it to do this? Well, okay, I'm going to rename it manually. This is going to become monthly summary. And I don't know how much that word appears. It was monthly net worth. Somebody's got to reference it. Okay. All right, and then scenario net worth is going to be scenario summary. You're so close to working. All right, and then I guess this would be nice if you would rename for me now. Hey, there we go. Okay, this will be possibilities summary. All right, now this one is net worth. Okay, now, let's go to our net worth. Okay, so we compute the net income for the month, but we have to add up the net income to date. All right. Yeah, this net. Right, filter by asset liability. Okay. I think. Well, what I would like to do is I would like to answer the question, what are your assets? What are your liabilities? What are your expenses? And what's your income? And have those separate, that I can do something with them. But the net worth is funny because it has to take into account all the previous net worths. Okay. But I think well, I guess we could just ask somewhere we ask what's the net worth, right? So let's find the A net worth. Okay. I mean, I guess what I want to say is you can. Yeah, I think maybe it is split the for each. Well, I don't know if we need to split the for each, but I think we need to. It's like the net income to date. That's the one that's funny to me. I mean, I would like to come out. Yeah, maybe it is. Think of splitting the for eaches. If I knew net income for a month, I want to store that. I would like to store net assets per month, and I'd actually like to store them separately as income, expense, asset, and liability. Which that. I mean, that's this thing, right? It's well, I guess it's this thing, Leia type. Okay. Yeah, let's split this loop. Okay. Well, one way to split it is to duplicate it. Okay, so I'm going to say this is type to money. And his type is Leia type to money. Okay. And okay, so the net income for the month is taking net, it's doing this bit. At month gives me money. Okay, yeah, so I would like to go through. Okay, arranged up for each. My goal for the first phase here is turn this into type to money. Okay, so this gives me month years. Well, okay. Somehow, I just want to, I don't want to do this reduce. Well, I think I'm calculating. I don't think I want to split this loop, I guess. I want to split the computation inside it. Okay, so my goal is before I compute the net income to date net worth. Right, I want to rearrange this summary. Okay, net income per month equals net income at month year, net assets at month. All right. So this is okay, we're filtered by collection is the layers. Filter by gives me a subset of the layers. Okay, so I want to do layers dot for each. I want something to happen. Okay. So right now, that's layers collection is really a subset of layers. And we're going to reduce money in those. Okay. I'm going to say type to money sub layer dot type equals I know there's a default way to do these type to money dot let me just find this thing. Now Java has something where you can just say, here's the default value for any object I try to look up that's not there. And I think you have to do it on the get in this. Like get with default or something like that. Subset create. Now how do you write this? I guess you just do it in brackets, huh? Plus Leia.amount. Okay, so I don't know, that's a little, we got here in parentheses. Okay. Is that reasonable? It's not written very nicely. Okay, so I think at this point we've got this array filled in with all types. We've categorized the types. They've come back as signed amounts, which may or may not be what we need. And I should be able to say net income per month is income plus the one bangs. Okay. Well, I don't even want to do this. Okay. Let's do type. We don't have a. I always forget this syntax. It's what do you put on them to be iterable? Case iterable, that's it. Okay, yeah, so I want to say layer type. Okay. rather than have that default thing. Now I know that there's one for each type, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. So in effect, I'm getting the sum of these things categorized by their type. I know there's an income and an expense, and that's your net income. And then your assets is same thing for okay. Yeah, I think if I know that I've initialized all cases, then I can just assume them. Unfortunate I have to, but there's not a good way to do that otherwise. All right, but I think that's a refactoring at this point, at least if I haven't messed something up. So the incomes will all be positive, the expenses and liabilities all be negative. So okay, and then what I want to do in effect is I'd like to have this type to money thing stored in my monthly summary. But the net worth is complicated. One test. What's the red? 10 failures. Okay, that's more. All right, so all right, we're making a stream from 2024 Jan to 2025 Jan. All right, the stream runs January to December. Was that even right? I would have said, since it's a stream giving you $1,000 a month and you're not spending anything. How is this right? For pool, is it? Oh, it is a pool. This is a asset. Okay, yeah. If an asset only has worth for the first 12 months, so they should all be 1,000, the last one should be 0. But net worth, no, I've messed it up for sure. Somehow I've accumulated net assets that month. Is net income to date plus net assets that month. Oh, this has to be in the loop. Okay, so every month we're starting over on our calculations, yeah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't count the number of items in here. I think it's just that each month we're only calculating. I mean, this much is only calculating how much in this asset class per month, and we get to the next month. If you want to carry stuff over, that's this net worth calculation that accumulates. All right. Good. So I guess you got to give me the start, the scenario. And the layers, and I give you back this type. Okay. And now I'm no longer using these 3 or 4. I think. So, I mean, I've got, 15 or 20 lines there. I'm paying for it with 10 lines here. Okay. So that's successful. The bad part. Okay, so net income per month, net assets at month. Well, okay. So what I want to do is I would like this calculation. I'd like those values to be sitting in my monthly summary, that you can ask how much do you have of each value type, and then I can get that income expense chart I was describing. Can I compute that? Well, I need to compute it, but can I give that to the monthly summary? Right, so monthly summary, right now he just gets the net worth. All right, but this deserves a function, which I don't think it'll pull for me, but we'll see. Nope. Okay. But I think we can describe this function. Okay, this is money by type, maybe. Takes some arguments, produces one of these. Now I think the summary could tell us what that is. Well, it would sure be nice if that thing initialized itself. let's not make it a let's make it a struct. Okay, so I'm going to refactor it to do this for us. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely make this nice then. Money type has no subscripts, sure. Okay. We don't need that. And then type to money, let's give it a subscript. Well, it's a layer type and it gives a money. And it's not going to be money question mark. It's going to be money, 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 money. Cannot assign through script. Oh, I always forget how to do these. I guess I got to do get, set. I think that's the syntax. Oh, we can put our bang here. Okay. Now we don't need bang on that. Okay, that's good. Or that, or that. This is how you know you're doing the right thing. All right, stuff that couldn't make a mistake and got a bang now is all easy. Okay, and then all right, so that should build and run. Oh, you'll let me do that? Wow. See if that's really true. It is. If our test pass. Okay. Now this is, well, that's a question we could answer there too. You could ask me type to money of, well, I could say type to money dot net income dot net assets. Yeah. So let's do a extract method kind of thing, basically. This is .NET Assets. Okay, now net income per month, we can just do that. These are not being used. Okay. All right, that's nice. Okay, so extract class money by type. Okay, and I think that's making our net worth much better. Although I almost wonder, well, plus equals good enough. Like, you don't really need to ask for a subscript. I mean, I could just say add type and amount. Let's do that. Yeah, we can do that in 5 minutes. All right, so let's make a new function. Well, Java coming out. All right, so what would you do? Well, you would say self sub type plus equals money. Okay, and then over here it would be dot add layer dot type that's there. Okay. So we would add. I don't know if the word is, if add's the right word for that. Maybe it's like accumulate. Okay, let's double check this. Okay, money by type. I guess I got to see, how does it read? So clear out money by type, run through each layer and accumulate whatever that value is. And I guess I'm keeping it here. I'm not letting type to money know about layers and signed amounts and all that. They just take money. Net income to date is the sum of our net income over time. Net worth of this month is net income to date plus the assets. Okay. Yeah, so I think my next stage is put the type money in the monthly summary. The money by type, I mean. And net worth is still interesting because you can't look at 1 month and say, what's your net worth? You can just say, what's your net for the month? But that doesn't tell you your net worth, because the assets has to reflect all your net income to date, not just your net income for this month. Now, type 2 money. It's more like the monthly total. Now, and net income to date is what carries across everybody, but net worth that month is local to this, so it's only saved long enough to write that in. Okay, well, it's a bit simpler. I mean, it's a bit shorter. The stuff that was complicated, that was managing it, is moved out. I think this is good. We'll next week we'll start we'll start keeping this, I guess, in the monthly summary. Now, I don't know if you need the net worth at that point. I want to move the reporting side away from the capture side, I guess is what I'm coming to. So I'm more likely, I'm capturing all these things. I don't know if I need to calculate net worth at this time, because I have I can compute it across a range given a pile of these monthly summaries. And I think maybe there's a reporting module that's trying to grow out that says, give me a stream of these things and I will tell you interesting stuff like net worth that month or something like that. But we'll save that for next week. All right. Thanks for joining today. I'm happy to have what we have on assumptions. I'm looking forward to discussing with my customer and seeing what they think about it. And I think this is a good start on a new kind of report. So I'm looking forward to making that go too. So thanks for your help this week and have a good weekend. I'll see you Monday, 2 to 4:30 Eastern, 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. Take care. Good night.